If you are a high ticket coach that finds yourself talking to a lot of people who are just looking for free coaching, maybe you're talking to people who keep saying they can't afford to work with you, or you're getting people who just seem like they want to vent to you, talk about what's going on in their life, almost like a counseling session, this podcast is going to be for you. We're going to be talking about 4 different buyer types, just general frameworks that you can use to help manage your time. Pick up on some cues that may really help you redirect your time so that you are spending time with the people who are most likely to give you a quick yes. So I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you. Welcome to the Next Level Sales podcast, where lead generation, sales, spirituality, and business strategy come together to help you live to your greatest potential while building a thriving business and life of your dreams. My name is Jessie Quimby Hearns, and I am so glad you joined me today. It is my most sincere wish that this podcast shines a whole new perspective on what people traditionally think of lead generation and sales, and that it brings you some fresh thoughts about your business, inspires you to approach sales and lead generation in a whole new way, and motivates you to build a life and business beyond your wildest dreams. I am so grateful to have you here with me today. With that, let's get to today's episode. I think it's happened to most of us at one point or another where we're in conversations with some leads. We're really hopeful that they're going to transition into buyers, and we recognize that they are honestly just looking for some free coaching, some free tips to help move them along their path. And this is just a common thing out there, right? I mean, we're hopeful as a coach that we're going to move this lead into a buyer. But as the conversation progresses, we're just picking up on cues that that's not going to happen. Now, I talked in my last podcast about the buyer journey going from them searching in the online space for solutions to whatever their problem is. Second step is eliminating all the noise and creating a short list. And number 3, buying, right? That's their process. But there's something that we can't see or don't know until we dig a little bit deeper that's going on with these buyers. We can't see it. We don't know it. And the first thing is, number 1, what is their urgency to actually implement a solution in their life? What is their time frame? Is it a quick time frame? Is it a long time frame? What is their urgency to get to a solution? When do they want that solution in place? The other thing is, how willing are they to take action? Are they a high action person, low action person? This is another factor that can affect whether they are willing to move forward and enroll and work with you as a client or not. So through these underlying motivations, their inclination to take action or not is how I see and have built kind of a framework around the 4 different types of buyers that we can encounter in the online space, that we can encounter anywhere actually as a business person who is trying to sell our offerings. So the first person that we encounter often is the person, when we think about that buyer journey, they get online, they start searching, and they search and they search and they search and they search. I might call this person the endless shopper. They love that research phase. I would say this person has low urgency and low action for making change. If they're out there and searching and searching and searching and gathering all the different options, but never taking steps forward to try and narrow or eliminate, they're not really a very viable client at that moment in time, right? Sometimes these people are the analysis paralysis sorts of people, you could say, in that they just really enjoy the research and they're just gathering information. Maybe they want perfection. Maybe they're searching for perfection in a solution. And so the searching just continues on. You may know of people like that who really just love this research stage and aren't ready yet for whatever reason in their life to move forward. There's just not the urgency for a solution for them to take action. Okay, so that's the first buyer type. And I don't know that you're really going to run into a lot of these people because you probably aren't talking to them. They're probably not to the point where they're talking to anyone and doing some sort of narrowing. Does that make sense? So I call them the endless shoppers. At some point, they may move out of shopping and searching and researching, but that's kind of where they are firmly at the research phase. Now, the second type of buyer, I call the hopeful DIYer. These people we probably encounter a lot. And this is the person who you're going to be talking to, that lead who will get you on the call and look for free coaching. And again, I think this is very human of us. A lot of us like to be independent. I know I do. I'm independent. I like to be self sufficient. I like to figure things out, and I will do research and I will look for ways to take care of things on my own. I recently wallpapered my bathroom. I did it by myself. I didn't hire people to do it. I got online, I did the research, I got the tools that I needed, and I took a couple of weekends to wallpaper my bathroom. So, I fall into this category myself in certain situations. So it may feel familiar to you. Now, these people will have a high action, they want action, but their urgency to get it done quickly might not be as high. Does this make sense? So, like for me, if I'd hired somebody, they probably would have come in and wallpapered my bathroom in a day. For me, it took, oh goodness, with the research, the planning, getting the materials. I mean, I was physically wallpapering for 4 days. It's not a very big bathroom, but I was slow and careful with what I was doing. So my urgency to get it done wasn't high, but I was ready to take a lot of action to get it done. So in the online coaching space, there's a lot of people who are out there on the buyer journey that I talked about in the last episode, who are out there searching, and they're starting to move into step number 2, which is looking for solutions that feel aligned to them. There's certainly a plethora of free material out there in the online space. So these people are diving into the free material and gathering and learning all that they can. So these are the leads that very easily we may get into conversations with, and they're just looking to learn as much as they can to go off and try and implement it on their own. They're trying to just gather all the freebies that they can and put it all together on their own. It's absolutely a viable solution if they have plenty of time to spend to actually start getting results. So, when you think about anybody who does a DIY project, I often think about, all the people who try to do DIY stuff for their house like I did. And with all the best intentions to save themselves time, to save themselves money, to, I do air quotes here, do a better job than maybe what some of they think the experts might do by bringing somebody into the house to do work, they're going to try and do it on their own. And how many renovation TV shows are out there that's like it's a DIY project gone bad? And so finally, people call in the experts and they're like, please help us. Please help us. We've been at this for years and it's just not, it's getting worse, not better. Well, this can happen to a lot of those hopeful DIYers in the online space who are trying to cobble together solutions on their own. We know this happens when people try to do things on their own with all the best intentions. It can take time to actually get the results that they want. It's perfectly a great choice if they're okay taking that time. But just know that these hopeful DIYers are a particular buyer category that can very much present like someone who's interested and wanting to work with you, but they may be gathering all this information so that they can go do it on their own. So, a great question to ask these folks is, when do they want to start seeing results from the information that they're asking about? When do they want to actually see hard, fast wins? You can really start to ask them if you're getting a sense that they are a DIYer, know that. maybe you've got some free resources that you can point them to. It's important to guard your time with these folks because they can, again, very much present like there's somebody who's ready to buy, but they just aren't looking to invest and spend that money to get faster results at this point in time. So when you pick up on cues that you may be talking to a lead, interacting with a lead who's just trying to get free tips, direct them to your free resources and move on to the next lead. You've got material that can support them, most likely. And when they're ready for you, they'll come back. We want to honor these people and the journey that they're on. Again, I'm one of them at times myself. But when and if they need help, you want them to have had a great experience with you that they'll think, you know what, I really liked talking to that person. And I think I want to keep them on my short list on who to consider when I'm ready to work with somebody. You can share that with them. The other piece is going back to the buyer journey is sometimes we encourage conversations with the hopeful DIY buyer because we provide a lot of free tips and tutorials. So if a lot of your content is free tips and tutorials, you are drawing more hopeful DIY leads to you. Does this make sense? Like when that's a lot of your content, that's the sort of buyer you're calling out to and connecting with. So you just want to keep in mind if you're producing a lot of tips, tutorials, freebie sorts of material, that might be the majority of the leads and buyers that you're drawing to you. They aren't buyers, are they? But the leads that you're bringing into your world. So you want to be conscious about that. Not saying that tips and tutorials aren't good to do every now and then, but you want to be careful about your content because if that's all that you're putting out there, you're speaking to the wrong audience. You're speaking to the wrong, I do air quotes, buyer, because this person's not going to be a buyer for quite some time. All right, moving on to the third category of buyer. I'm going to call these folks the no-go buyer. This would be the person who has very high urgency, but is almost stuck in inaction. Okay, so this is the person who either is someone who has a problem and it's such a stressful problem that they're almost stuck in inaction because they don't know how to take action. It's such a high stress problem that they're frozen. It could be that person, or it could be a person who, the world is full of people who do like to stay in some drama, stay in their problem and not take action to resolve it. So this might be the person who simply wants to get on a call with you or have a conversation with you about all the things that are going wrong in their life, and they really aren't ever ready to take steps forward. So I call this person the no-go buyer, so to speak, again, because the probability of them buying with you is going to be low in this point in time. A little bit like the hopeful DIY person who really wants to take action, but is not likely a buyer at this time. Now, this third category, who I call the no-go buyer, who's caught up and really has urgency, who really has a problem, but just feels frozen or stuck with wherever they are, this person, as well as the hopeful DIY person, I believe at some point there's a likelihood, a good likelihood that they are ready to work with someone. It just might take them time. So I see this hopeful DIY buyer, so to speak, and the no-go buyer who's just stuck in their problem but not taking action. I see at some point down the road that they are going to recognize that they do need help. Just like the people who try to renovate their house and finally call in the expert contractor to take over the mess that they've made, right? So at some point, these two buyers may buy with us. So hope is not lost with these folks. If they come into your world and you continue to stay in touch with them, build relationships, nurture them, you're building an email list. So stay in touch with them, do follow up, create connections, continue to provide some value to them, stay in touch, continue to be a trusted advisor for them without giving away too many free tips and tutorials. Because if you do that, they're not going to buy from you still, right? They're going to continue to try and figure it out on their own. However, at some point, they're going to say, I'm done. I'm ready to solve this problem. and they're going to shift into what is our fourth category. And I call these our soulmate buyers. These are people, the fourth category for me are the people who we really want to focus our time and attention on, to really the personalized follow up, really invest most of our time with. And they are people who have high urgency and they are ready to take action. And we can't know this until we move them through our process, have more conversations with them, really get to know them a little bit better, just like with these other categories of buyers, so to speak. But these people are your easy yes. You connect with them on that soul level. They really like what they're hearing. You've spoken to their hearts and they move towards you and they give you an easy yes because you've gone to the top of their short list. You've made it easy for them to understand how you help them. You've connected with them like you're their voice in their head, which is it's so key in building this trusted advisor connection with them. But they are the ones who are ready, willing, and able now to say yes and work with you. They recognize the value of hiring someone to help them get solutions quickly, to get their wins quickly. And that's what we're here for, right? We're here as online coaches to help change and better people's lives. And so we can spend all kinds of time with a hopeful DIY person or someone who is really just stuck in the high urgency of their problem. We can recognize that these people need help. And I know most of the coaches that I work with really want to help people, and we try to show them how much they need help. But if those individual buyers aren't ready now and see the value of getting assistance now, we're kind of spinning our wheels on trying to convince people that they need us when they're not ready yet. So that's why I like to encourage people to focus on these soulmate buyers who will take action. They do see the value of investing in someone and they're open to everything that we've shared with them. And they see the value of what we do and they come towards us with an easy yes. And that can happen, again, if you listen to the buyer journey, when you dial in the components of the buyer journey of getting seen, being on their short list, not getting eliminated, and making the purchase easy, they become buyers literally within days. You can take these soulmate buyers from not knowing you. When you follow that buyer journey and you do it really well, they go from not knowing you into becoming a really enthusiastic, ready to get going and start implementing these changes in their life within days. And they see you as their only solution within days. That's the power of the focus on these folks. You want to give them your personal time and attention, and then nurture these other folks because there will be a time that many of them finally say, I'm done. I give up. I know I need help. And you don't want to forget about them. You don't want to ignore them. You want to continue to reach out, build bridges to them. And the beauty of that is they're on your email list. It's kind of called what they like to say the flywheel, right? They become easy yeses later while you're still having great conversations with your soulmate buyers, say 6 months down the road. You're talking to your soulmate buyers, but those hopeful DIYers and those folks who are so stuck and were a no-go 6 months ago, suddenly they become yeses and they become fast yeses. So you're able to take what is a pipeline of leads and start to convert the people that you've been nurturing quickly as well. So it really starts to scale up your business quickly. Can you understand? Does this picture start to emerge for you? Because as you're nurturing leads that were not ready at the time and they become quick yeses, and you're still talking to your soulmate buyers and they're becoming quick yeses, it just increases exponentially the flow of new clients into your business. So this whole process of knowing where the four buyer types fit with the people that you're talking to When you can see where these people are on their journey of buying and what category they fall into, it allows you to make the most efficient decisions with how you're spending your time with each individual lead. And then you can take action to either enroll those quick yes buyers or really do a great job of building relationships and nurturing the people who aren't ready yet. And down the road, when you do a good job of nurturing, they become clients too. And your business just starts to explode over time because you keep working the people who you're building community with on your email list, who you've had great initial conversations with. You haven't just blown them off. I mean, some people might blow those people off because they're not ready to buy now. You don't want to do that because these people are super valuable. They're just not ready right now. And so you can take advantage of building a great relationship with them and helping make it an easy yes for them down the road when they're ready, when it is a quick yes for them. So I hope understanding these 4 buyer profiles, so to speak, that are constantly shifting. Honestly, somebody could be a DIY person today and next week be done with it and ready to be a quick yes. You don't know. That timeline is up to the buyer, what their situation is, but we can understand better what it is so that we know when we can be there ready to serve them when they're ready to say yes. I hope this conversation helps you understand how to look for where this person is on their buying journey so that you can really put boundaries around your time, direct these people to the resources that they most need now, today, and then take the steps that you can to nurture them so you have the best chance of them becoming a new client for you down the road when they're ready. And of course, you just give your love, support, and personal attention to the people who are ready, willing, and able now to say yes. Because what you do during the buying journey for that particular soulmate client, it shows them what kind of coach you're going to be when they get into the program. So when you show them that you care, when you show them that you're going to be there for them, when you show them that you are going to give them some personalized attention, they're going to feel pretty good about getting that kind of experience with you inside your coaching program as well. And that's going to make them feel better about getting great results, lasting results when they work with you. So thanks for your time. I hope this has given you some opportunity to think about the different people that you are talking to and where they are on this journey and how you can approach each different person and where they are. Don't feel frustrated with those DIYers or the people who are stuck in their problem. They may be your future buyers a month, 6 months, a year down the road. In my mind, when 3 of the 4 categories of buyers could be your future clients, it's well worth investing some time and nurturing all of them. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Now, before you go, if this episode resonates with you, I would absolutely love it if you would follow the podcast and leave a review so we can reach more entrepreneurs just like you who are eager to build a thriving coaching business that lights up their soul, gives them time freedom, and brings them financial abundance without feeling all that resistance and yuck when it comes to lead generation and sales. And if you're interested in knowing more how you can make lead generation and sales easier inside your business, check out my free mini course. You'll find the link to that mini course in the episode notes. And if you'd like to get to know me better, see what's going on in my life, hop on over to Instagram.com and follow me at Jessie Q Sales Coaching. Be sure to say hi to me there and let me know you found my podcast. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, my friends. Just know I'm cheering you on to your biggest imaginable business success.